money in my grind. You put money in your nose, though. I can't do that, that's a no. Smoke a zoo, I'm even slow-mo. All my niggas on the road, though. You can have a she, my old hoe. I can't do that, that's a no. Smoke a zoo, I'm even slow-mo. All my niggas on the road, though. You can have a she, my old hoe. You can have a she, my old one. Name me a
Ciao, buongiorno a tutti ragazzi, un saluto di Inter Worldwide, coming to you on a beautiful sunny Sunday morning here in the 57, that is Western Sydney. It's not really a match preview, there's so much to talk about, so I feel like I'd be wasting the channel's time if I didn't put something up. Let's start straight from the top. Kumbulla, Hellas Verona defender who's had an amazing season this season, valued at around about that $25 to $30 million mark. He looks like he's coming across, which is very good because we need that young depth. We need those Bastonis and the Kumbullas to lead with De Vrij and Skriniar. But that piggybacks into the rest of this conversation. Does that mean Skriniar is on his way out? There is a high chance of that happening now. Manchester City just got whooped 3-1 by Lyon. I'm going to use this video as a little bit of a sly chance to throw some banter. Suck shit to Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, getting away with your bullshit ban, with your shitty overrated coach that has to spend close to €1 billion per season or season and a half. Overrated to the max. Up yours. They're going to be looking for a centre-back. They'll pay 50-60 mil for Skriniar. So will Man United. So will Barcelona. That's the second piggyback banter part of this video, but we'll go into that one pretty soon. So let us know in the comments below what you think about Skriniar making his way out for the potential 55 to 65, 70 million euros. If we're cashing in that much money, it's hard for me. Like, honestly, after seeing him play under Spalletti, I knew he'd be the best centre-back in the league, but then he switched to the three-man back system, and he hasn't been overly poor, but he hasn't been anywhere near as good as he is before. And that'll lead to the argument, you know, if he really can't adapt to a back three, and it's taken him a whole season to adapt to a back three, is he really as good as his dollar value says? And at the moment, when they're throwing figures around like 60, 70 million, we might have to cash in on this one, ragazzi, whether we like it or not. Let's move along now. From the defensive end to the midfield, Sandro Tonali. Inter is set to sign a new record by signing him for the 4th week in a row next week. I still remember doing a video on Tonali, like a good maybe 8 months ago. This has the Barella deal written all over it. Like, this is the exact same trajectory that the Barella deal followed last season, which is really good because the final figures at the moment, well, the latest update from Romano and Damasio is that we've got him for 25 mil up front with a potential 5 to 10 in bonuses. That's cheap shit money compared to the rubbish 50, 60 million fees that were being thrown around midway through the season pre-COVID. I think that's a steal. It's just another Marotta masterstroke, to be honest. So let's just hope we narrow that down as quick as possible because, you know, we are going to need another option in the midfield besides Tonali to come in. And who is that going to be? Is it going to be Arturo Vidal? Possibly. Is Radja Nainggolan going to come back? I'm not too sure. I guess we'll address the rumours of Roberto Gagliardini having a €15 million price tag and being courted by Lazio. If that's going to contribute to the Milinkovic-Savic price as well, we might be looking to be keen on that. But then we're left with that that sort of PlayStation dilemma, that FIFA dilemma of, you know, are we willing to have these players with these wages on the bench just eating bench time? Because Barella, Brozovic, Eriksen, Tonali, what's it called? Who did I just say? SMS. These players aren't, like, they're not on cheap wages. They're nothing astronomical, but they're not cheap. You can't have these sort of players eating wages on the bench, or maybe if they can, Grande Zang, maybe, you know, this is all part of the plan. And I'm not going to complain because I've spent the better part of the last decade complaining that our bench is always rubbish and Juventus have always had 11 bench players that can come on and do anything. So yeah, no complaints here for me. Addressing Gagliardini, he can go, of course he can. He's a dip in quality compared to the rest of the midfielders. His physicality, as good as it is, might as well just be used elsewhere because we don't need it. I would much prefer to bring Nainggolan back or a Vidal in place of Gagliardini. 15 million, fine by me. Like, I'd be taking 12, 15. I know he's worth more than that, but he just represents a part of that Inter side that's phasing out pretty quick to me. And I know some people disagree and, you know, people think that it would just reactory to the whole 1 meter miss or whatever it was. But let us know in the comments. What's next? Nothing much to report on in terms of Eriksen or injuries or Sanchez. You know, the update was that basically he'll miss the next 2 Europa games. He might be on the bench for the final, but he's definitely missing the semi against Shakhtar. If you haven't checked out our tactical preview for Shakhtar Donetsk, that's below this video. Go and check that out. I know I was meant to talk about something else. I'm just a little bit forgetful. Ah, yes, of course. Barcelona get their Spanish tapas asses handed to them. 8-2 by Bayern Munich. That was funny shit. That was really, really funny. Barcelona dishing out their once annually dose of submissive pornography. What was it? Atletico Madrid in 2015 or 16. Roma after that. Liverpool after that. Goodness me. And now this one for Bayern Munich, the most embarrassing of the lot. The most embarrassing of the lot is that our former player, Felipe Coutinho, is actually on loan from Barcelona to Bayern Munich, and he scored 2 goals and assisted 1 in the final 10 minutes. They effectively paid Liverpool 140 million euros, and us an extra like 9 million in commission or something like that. 5 or 9, something like that, for him to go and score against them in the Champions League. That shit's funny. When shit like this starts happening to other clubs like Barcelona, you kind of look at your own club, Inter, and you go, you know what, maybe things aren't so bad at the moment. At least we're not getting pumped 8-2. But then again, we're not in the Champions League to get pumped 8-2. The biggest fallout from that was, you know, photos circulating everywhere of Messi looking dejected, unhappy, sitting in the dressing room by himself at halftime. He looks like he is considering a career change, and it's actually not too crazy anymore to say that we could be in the running to sign him, because we are one of the only clubs linked. There is a little bit of history there. That Argentinian connection is pretty real, and at the end of the day, we've shown on paper that our revenue and our figures are capable of housing a book purchase like this now. Everyone called Juventus crazy for doing it for Ronaldo. They actually did it quite easily, didn't turn it over on the pitch, but they've maintained it on the books. Who says we can't do it as well? Let me know. Vidal from Barca as well possibly would be the only other option to take off their books. I wouldn't really care for anybody else. But yeah, that's about it. Shakhtar Donetsk up next in about 48 hours time, just a little bit less from when I'm recording this video. I'm not completely confident that we'll get the win because it's a semi-final, because anything can happen. Whoever wants to grind it out and whoever wants it harder on the day is probably going to win. But I'm confident that we can open up the first 20 to 30 minutes really dominant and get a goal or two. It's been our go-to this season. It's been our forte this season. Start strong. Even if it doesn't mean we press the hardest and attack the hardest in the 20, 30 minutes, we have a very specific tactical defensive setup that plans to unleash players on the break really, really early and catch out those players for Shakhtar Donetsk that might be pressing up a little bit earlier in the game. And Ahmed talks all about that in our tactical preview below. Yes, just before I forget, I knew there was something. Ivan Perisic played a good game for Bayern Munich in the semi-final against Barcelona. He's had a pretty decent season for them on the pitch, but in context, you have to have a look at a lot of Bayern's games and realize that Perisic usually comes on when they're already winning, bangs in a couple of cheap goals. He's asked to do, man, honest to God, he's asked to do about 30% at Bayern what he was asked to do at Inter because of the players around him and the opposition. But it looks like they'll have to purchase him now. They'll have to purchase him now because he's scoring for them in a semi-final and assisting in a quarter-final against Barcelona and assisting for them. But anyway, the latest headline was that Conte would love to have him back. So you make sure you let us know what you think about that as well. For me, I'd take him back and not complain about it. But at the same time, if it was up to me, I'd just be cashing in because that recent semi-final just once again peaks his stock. Perisic is aging and the world is going to see it really soon. You need to cash in now. It's the last chance. So whatever they offer, whether it's 13, 15, they won't offer 20. Whatever it is in the teens, you take that money and you run. That's all from me. Best of luck for us for Shakhtar. I'm not even going to look at lineups and stuff like that because we've got the tactical preview below. And yeah, I will see you after the match, hopefully with a huge smile on our face and a ticket booked to the Europa League final. Forza Inter. Take care.